So what needs to be said to the Church, the Catholic Church and its power structure scenarios? The last Christian, the Moses and the Antichrist produce scheme. That's what I described in the last videos. And the last Christian is something which is, from my viewpoint, more than one time tried to be produced with different persons. And my video and my content is based on assumptions and back conclusions, not on exact science or something which I can verify by 100%, but that's the logical assumption out of things, how they will be, might be, should be, if other assumptions are right. And normally I wouldn't even be interested in things what the Catholic Church is doing and how and why they're trying to produce Christs, Christians, and something like that. But as the Church is very powerful, and as it's interfering in my life and other people's life, it's sometimes important to warn people or to show how things work and how they are. So the last Christian is always leading to court souls, to make them Pauls in the Church again, to reunite people who have left the Church, who have been rebellious against the Church. So the Church is trying to reassociate them, to create modern kind of prophets, to restore the call of the Church or to restore the call of Christianity. That's one function of the last Christian, the last Christ, the last Christ is a little different than the last prophet, but it's a multi-directional spin in the end. It can develop as the person decides to misjudge it if connected to power structures. When the people then, for example, think it's a multivarious script, and it's a developing script played and used by roles and those who use roles in Catholic and atheistic power structures. And so it's possibly sometimes then connected to Israel, it's connected to the Moses role, or it is then the Moses role, or it's changing to more a Moses role. So the people at first, they think their position, their role, according to what they experience in spiritual things, is this, and then later on the role changes, or then they think they have power, they are connected to very strong spiritual forces, and then they think they have a role to save the Christians or to save Christianity, save faith, possibly also in accordance to having power over weather and something like that. So they emotionally, spiritually take the things and focus them on themselves. For example, a spin which is then connected to their feeling of heat, and then basically it's only a spirit who is then enabling a different feeling to heat and the sun. So the whole thing is pretty dangerous, because people who really believe and who really believe that God is doing wonders, they sometimes get caught by that, and they think then that they are called to do great things, to restore faith, to restore the Church, to save the earth, to fight the fight against evil, to prevent political things to happen, to save Israel, to save from